Like very loud.
I swear it was not this loud.
Welcome back to Kiston, everybody. This is so exciting. This is going to be probably our biggest game yet. And so if you are just coming across this channel for the first time, let me give you a quick rundown about the Quelmar Realm, the name of the channel. The Quelmar Realm is a fantasy realm setting for Dungeons & Dragons originally. It's grown over time. We've played other games. I've had Pathfinder in it. I've had Blades in the Dark in it. And we are growing more and more, playing tabletop games of all sorts and manners. However, you are tuned in today for It Came from Kiston, our current ongoing series, which stars 5 people in the past who in ancient times stumble across this island full of dragons and danger. And then 2,000 years later, the descendants of those 5 are heralded in through an ancient eldritch energy that pulls them back to the island to atone for sins past. I just made that up. So, let me just go ahead and introduce our players before we get to playing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Liana, and I will be playing Eldrina this evening. She is a warlock damper.
Lorna?
My name is Jeff, and I'm playing Lorna, short for Lornagar, and she is a half-orc bard of valor, and she likes telling stories.
I'm playing a mouse folk monk named Thimble, prince of the Quiche clan and heir to the Peep Peep throne.
Hi, my name's Pluto. I'll be playing Kelsey. My name is Kelsey, and I'll be playing Pluto tonight. He is a giant polar bear, Urson beast folk, and he's a barbarian.
And rounding out the Fated 5.
Hi, I'm playing Green/Murray, and my name is Matt. I'm playing a half-druid, half-dryad, rogue, and all I really do is walk around and talk to people and then stab them sometimes. Back
Excellent.
to you, Jane.
So, as you recall from last time, we ended last session having made it to the other side of the massive river that separated us from the Crystal City. We are mere moments away from our destination when we were awoken from our rest. What we thought would be our last respite before entering the Crystal City has instead turned into quite the ambush. Awakening from our sleep, we could hear the ghostly growls of a creature in the distance. It was indeed that massive, ancient black dragon known as Yatil Yvelg. We've just narrowly crossed paths with him, and we have learned to fear him as we have made our way to the caves. But now here, it seems he has found us. And not by himself. He appears to have had some aid, as the last thing we saw was our loyal companion, Poseidon, the red dragon, as he bowed his head down to his master, Yatil. You guys can hear Yatil giving one more boisterous command out to his pawn here.
Poseidon, head inside now and tell the others that they have lost. The chosen blood now lies in the hands of Yatil Yvelg. I don't want anyone getting in the way between me and that wheel.
And the 5 of you see Yatil sort of nod his head quietly, a bit shaken, a bit scared. And he looks up the mountainside here. The Montiferous Peak in which the Crystal City lies is hundreds and hundreds of feet up, extending up into the skyline in unimaginable height. And it is up there, in one of these strange woodpecker-like holes, that Poseidon takes flight and eventually disappears into the mountain. leaving just the 5 of you cowering in our hole, and Yatil himself.
That hole.
You know, I've met a lot of dirty rats in my time, but man, Poseidon takes the cake.
We need to stop focusing on Poseidon and focus on getting the hell out of here.
Did he just do what I think he did?
Yes. And it means we need to get moving, otherwise we're next. So, this short mouse folk, man, can you dig?
No, I can't dig is better than anyone else here.
Okay.
You're the good one at talking?
Yeah, but he's a little big for my... Look, do you want me to go out there and say something?
Yeah.
It sounds like he needs us for something, right? That we're important somehow, and he hasn't killed us right away, so maybe we can use that to our advantage?
We're better alive than dead to them, it seems.
For now.
That's one thing for us.
We gotta make first contact here. He's waiting for us to make a move, so...
Green stands up.
Pluto will follow Green. Frickin' Green.
You're the one who told me to get out. I don't even want to hear. If we live through this...
What do you mean if we're gonna live through this? There's a giant dragon! Are your eyes not working?
So as you bicker and you make your way to the front of this cliff that Yatil has perched himself on, he smiles with a nice noble head up, lurch towards the sky. You can see on the side of his neck there is a heavy amount of scar tissue that is somewhere between his chest and his neck here in the thyroid area that has been all carved up and scarred over, making him only look maybe even more menacing than he already is.
I whisper to Green, "Yo, you got a speech prepared?"
Can I be honest?
No.
Then yes. Hi!
Great.
Would the rest of you like to make yourself known?
He eyes the spot of the beach where you crawled out of.
Yeah, I walk out with my hands up. You got me.
I'll look at Thimble. Do you want
I'll
to
stand
go?
up.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna put my hands in my pockets and walk out, head up high.
I'll walk out too. Head not held up high.
So with the fated 5 now in place, Yatil finally speaks. He cranes his long, spindly neck over the cliff, looking down at you all, and he says,
Your forefathers and I made a deal, but unlike then, I will be making these terms. I only need the blood from one of your bodies. In return, I will let the other 4 fly home safe. I'll give you a moment to decide which of you is the most expendable.
I thought
That
he was gonna
doesn't work.
outright eat us.
Yeah, no, he just wants to eat one of us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, obviously that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up a brain channel.
Mhm.
And if we could, I think it'd be best if maybe we discuss this privately. What does he need our blood for?
It's a good question.
He said it had something to do with the wheel.
And
What
our
do you need our
ancestors?
blood for?
I don't believe you're in a position to ask questions.
He doesn't think we're in a position to ask questions.
Yeah. I don't
Alright.
think he understands that this is the perfect position for us to ask questions because, like, we don't know anything. But that's
Wait,
fine.
wait. I've dealt with this before. When somebody needs something, he needs something. He needs one of our blood, right?
Yes.
So now this might be freaky, but what if we threaten to end all of our lives? Then you'd have none of our blood, right?
Or then he would have all of our blood.
All of
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
carry us up. He's a giant dragon. Do you not see? He just pick us up and carry us. Like, I don't feel like that's an option.
Also, I don't know where you're from, but typically I don't gamble with my life, let alone other people's. Well, sometimes other people's lives, but not my life. Never, really.
I look up at Yatil. Sorry, we're having a little powwow. Give us a minute.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
live. We got 5 lives on the line here.
Yeah, you're immortal, right? Like, you keep doing you. All right.
So, does someone need to die, or could they just get close to death?
And it didn't feel like that was an option. It
I
felt
think
like it was 1 life for the other
the
4 lives.
4 others. Yeah. Can I do a perception check along the cliffside, like where we are?
Sure.
Because we know that there's other entrances into the mountain.
I mean, I'll tell you with your passive perception of a 16, you can.
Yeah.
There's 4 directions here, 4 cardinal directions. We could go that way, which is the river, which is miles wide and full of dragon eaters.
Yeah.
We could go this way in either direction, which is basically an endlessly long beach, not unlike the one we're on, that is partitioned between the river and the mountain. And then, of course, the other exit would be up, in which we can see countless holes on the mountainside through which various dragon-shaped objects seem to be going in and out.
Pull out my book and write down, recap the last bits of our adventures. If I'm gonna go here, I need my story written. Hey, big guy, are you planning on killing us here and then carrying our bodies to wherever this wheel is, or do you need our bodies alive when you get there?
Is there a difference?
But you keep saying blood. Like, you can have some blood, but you don't need to necessarily kill the host.
And I think what my fine friends are suggesting is less of a kill us now and more of letting us getting a few last words in, so to speak, and maybe seeing what all the hubbub is about.
Look,
like
we all
look,
weigh a
hear
ton.
about
You
this
really
wheel.
want to carry us or have us walk there and then kill us?
Someone in your family is weak and does not deserve the privilege of living. It should be a simple choice. Or are you unwilling to part with even one soul? Are you so bonded that all 5 lives are worth losing?
well, see, here's the thing. We keep hearing about 5 ancestors, right? Why shouldn't all 5 of us go to this whale then? Why do you only need 1? I realize, yes, I understand. We're not in the position to ask questions. Look, you're gonna kill all of us whether or not we decide for one or the other. I'm not stupid. This is not the first time I've met. Well, okay, it is the first time I met a big dragon, but I've met dragonkin before, and let me tell you, they're a serious bunch.
Then you do not underestimate the bargain I am offering you.
Here's another bargain. You either take one of us with ease and let us know what you're planning, or take all 5 of us with a bit more difficulty.
I am not some foolish villain from your mortal literature. I am Yatil Yvelg, the cruel tormentor. I think that says enough.
Excuse me, sir. I'm so sorry to interrupt your monologue, but you said that there's one of us that seems the weakest. So it seems like you've already made the decision for us. So would you mind maybe sharing that with us so that we can evaluate your decision and make one ourselves?
The bear likely has the most blood. You are giving me my choice. Then I would go for him.
Okay, so it seems like you need quantity. Right. Thank you for sharing that. That's very helpful. One moment, if you would.
the blood for?
Do you want me to try asking him? I don't know if we're on that good of terms, but I could try.
Look, if I am going to die, I want to know what it's for. What do you need the blood for?
Are you unwilling to part with it? Even if it means saving the lives of your 4 friends.
But I think, as you all great and mighty dragon know, it is out of respect for your fellow warrior that they know what they're dying for.
Warrior? You call yourself warrior?
I was once.
You are all pathetic under the might of dragonkind. I have been kind in entertaining these notions, but if you do not hand over a body, I will take one for myself.
You should know, my no longer warrior ass has gotten heavier. Carrying me is gonna be very heavy, so at least allow me the dignity of a walk, or whatever dignity I have left.
He ponders this final promise. And then within the blink of an eye, Pluto, he is on top of you. He is on top of all of you, with one claw, keeping Pluto prone to the ground.
Oh man.
The rest of you are thrown off and aside as his massive weight comes barreling down on the beach. And you can all see, as you get up, that he is just eyeing Pluto, one arm, or one claw that is pinning Pluto to the beach.
In understanding that I'm probably about to ascend and be taken away, can I like maneuver through my things and grab my flask and be ready to like drop it and leave it behind for the group in case he...
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm knocked down, but like I'm the most prized thing I have, I'm gonna leave it to the group.
So, even though you have one claw pinning you down, you make sure you reach out and you grab that flask from over your shoulder where you can. It's a little uncomfortable, but you do get it out and you have it in hand.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Ready
hold
to
it
drop
until...
at any moment.
Yeah.
Everyone else, anything you'd like to do?
Why make a deal in the first place? We're clearly nothing but, you know, ants under your mighty form. Why not just grab us and go? Why go through all this pleasantries?
He does not hear you, Lorna. He instead immediately goes to bite Pluto's head off. I'm gonna do a quick attack roll here. That is a unnatural 20.
It hits.
Pluto, you will feel his jaws clenching down around basically your own neck, chest area, almost mimicking where he has his own scars. Of course, all it takes is one tooth to just embed itself in your chest before you feel the pain. You're going to take a grand total of 22 damage from the bite.
Sweet Jesus.
If we would like to let him kill Pluto and then fly off, we do not have to enter initiative. We can just give him Pluto like he wanted and let him do his thing. If we would like to interfere. Okay, sounds like an initiative roll is in order then.
Going to interfere, I believe.
Go ahead and roll for initiative, everybody. Green with that 27. That is going to put you first.
Yeah, as I see the jaws coming down, before Green even knows what he's doing, the pistol's slipping out of his trousers. He's just gonna throw one of the Warforged crystals with his left hand and then just hip fire with his right, and I want to try to shoot it in midair next to the neck wound.
All right,
if I
great.
can call that shot. Pluto, I apologize, but like this is spur of the moment. I gotta do something. That was a 23.
That is a hit.
I'm throwing it out with my left hand, and I just kind of just go boom, like right as the jaws connect. That shot rings out.
Let's roll some damage.
5 for the gun.
All right. So you are aiming at the crystal, not at Yatil. Yeah, you guys see as Green takes one of these weird Kiston crystal and throws it up in the air, followed immediately by a pristine shot that just hits the crystal directly. It does shatter the crystal. Unfortunately, it seems like the crystal just falls to pieces, to the ground, to the beach. It occurs to you, Green, that the last time we tried something like that, throwing crystals into stuff, there was a surge of wild magic that we were told was going on there. Unexplainable magical effects. And because this crystal did not explode in a likewise fashion, you can only just come to the conclusion that maybe the crystals themselves aren't so explosive or deadly as we thought.
The smoke just kind of rises from the gun barrel as Green looks bewildered, and the only thing he can say is, "Oh, come on, that worked last time!"
It will create
then-
a large enough explosion right in Yatil's ear, though. So he will actually, his jaws will open in shock, and he'll reel his head backwards. So you have his attention.
Hey, man, you gotta stop that. Sorry, but you gotta take all of us. But preferably don't hit me yet. And I'm gonna move 30 feet back. I'll move back towards Eldrina.
So with that, we will move on, and the next person is Yatil. So as you shoot and you talk and you run, he'll rear his head up, and he will say,
Then I will take all of you.
and he is going to let go of Pluto with the one claw, and he's going to turn his body in place and bear down on the two here on the coast, Thimble and Lorna, as he pivots here.
Fight me, I do not care.
Sorry for kiting him,
He is
guys.
now bearing down on the two of you and away from Eldrina and Pluto. And he's going to make 3 attacks, 1 with his bite and 2 with his claws. So I will do damage for all of those, unless you guys have some ability to negate it.
Yep.
Nope.
Don't have any reactions.
Sorry, guys.
Thimble, you will take a grand total of 17. And for the 2 claw attacks, Lorna, this is going to be a little harder on you. This is 2 attacks. Take 27 damage as he brings both claws down, swiping across you, leaving massive gashes in your clothing, in your chest. And with that, additionally, in addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and have all creatures within 120 feet make a wisdom saving throw. So it's going to be everybody.
Is he trying to scare me? Because that's not going to happen.
It is indeed frightful presence.
No. I have advantage on these.
Ha! Even
Because I'm
almost as
brave.
good. You are brave.
So 23.
Anyone else?
17 for Eldrina.
18 for Pluto.
Green got a fat 4.
So it's actually going to be the 18 and the 23 that will succeed, which I believe was that Thimble and Pluto?
Mm-hmm.
The Beast Folk!
Hell yeah.
So Eldrina, Lorna, and Green, those who are not beast folk, you are frightened. So, and that is actually going to be the end of Yatil's turn. So Pluto, you have your space back. He is off of you, and he is bearing down on Lorna and Thimble. What do you want to do? You
Yeah.
can get to your feet and...
Yeah, no. I rage. So I rolled a 2 on my wild surge, so I can teleport up to 20 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. And I can do this as a bonus action until my rage is over.
Sure, why don't you go ahead and roll a d8 for me?
Oh, shit. 5.
So as we've learned, Kiston is not kind to teleportation. In this case, it's going to be back in diagonal. So you're going to go 20 feet in this direction. 20 feet's not actually very much. That's going to put you about here. You have an action and a move.
Alright.
His back is turned to you.
His back is turned. Let me see. I'll move 40 feet towards him.
That'll put you right at his foot there.
And I'll throw a fragment grenade right at that scar tissue.
So he's going to make a quick save. So that's going to be a 13 for Yatil's save.
He
Go ahead and do
fails.
full grenade damage.
Nice.
So it's gonna be 19, and I say, pick on someone your own size. Which
So
is
just as he's
nobody
bearing-
here.
So just as he's bearing down on Lorna and Thimble, ready to maybe take another swipe, from around the side, you guys can see Pluto hauling it on the beach, the sand crunching underneath of his feet, as he rounds the corner of Yatil, and he throws a grenade 20 feet up in the air, and it explodes right next to Yatil's neck, sending him asunder. And that is, I think that's it for your turn, Pluto. So I'm going to take a legendary action to do a wing attack. So, as you come up from the side, and Eldrina's still behind him, and he's bearing down on these two, he's going to roar out. And he's going to bring his massive wings up like you see there, and he's going to swing them down And what this is going to do is not only create a little bit of damage for us, but it's going to create this massive wind effect that may or may not knock you prone. I'm going to need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, except for Green.
So when a creature forces me to make a saving throw, he takes 3d6 force damage.
Unnatural 20.
17.
16.
So, Lorna, you're the only one who succeeds. You'll take half. Everybody else, you're going to take the full damage here. It's just basically wind damage. It's going to knock you prone, except for Lorna. So you'll take 8, Pluto. You'll take 8, Lorna. Thimble and Aldrina, you'll take 16 each.
I got evasion.
You will also take 8, Thimble. Aldrina, you're the only one taking the full hit here. And you're behind him. You haven't even engaged him yet. You just happened to be there when he brought his wings down. And he's going to knock you over. So he's going to fly. He can fly half his speed. He's actually going to go back up to his post at that. He will be back up at his little perch that he started from, which gives you guys basically another chance to bow before him. So Aldrina, as he flies away, right before you start your turn, he's going to look down at the group of you and he will say, "You foolish mortals! One rip of my acid breath will dissect you so that your skin blows to the river and your bones are buried in the beach. You dare take on Yatil Yvelg." And Aldrina, it is your turn.
I say in the channel, wouldn't that mean he has no blood to work with, right?
I think he's bluffing.
Right? If he used his acid breath, it would disintegrate all of us. No blood.
I'm going to look at him. I'm gonna look down, and I'm gonna walk center, and I'm gonna bow. I would like to apologize on behalf of my friends. We were very quick to jump into this situation, and I'm very sorry for that. I mean no disrespect. I ask that if you are to take one of our lives, we get 1 hour to spend with the person who will die. Which means nothing in the lifespan of someone like you.
Alright, I will let you try a persuasion check there. You're not in a great negotiating position, but you can definitely roll.
Okay, I'll try. It's a 26, which is pretty good, because I have a +8 in persuasion.
That is really good. So this is between life and death. This is Aldrina laying down her life and doing what she does best, right? Which is working with unruly people. Surely more than a few students in that school of yours have had attitudes similar to Yatil's. But dragon psychology does not quite translate effectively. It seems like in already offending him, we have lost the opportunity for negotiation. He doesn't even laugh as he looks at you. He simply rears his head back as if he's about to let loose that acid breath that he had threatened. You, however, Aldrina, do still get your action and your bonus action.
So I guess, I'll ready myself to dodge.
Okay, yeah, you can dodge as an action, so you'll have advantage on the saves, or they'll have disadvantage on the attacks. So Aldrina just basically bows and puts herself before Yatil and then gets ready for the worst. And Thimble, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go over and kneel before Yatil and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm your humble servant." And my sword floats above my head and just shoots towards his scar. And my hands glow as I ready 2 searing radiant sun bolts at him.
That is going to be 1 attack from the dancing sword, and then a couple attacks for the shining fists, whatever you want to call them, searing fists.
19 for the sword.
The sword is going to miss, unfortunately.
Okay. And a 22 and a 26 for the searing sunburst.
Those are going to
Or radiant.
Yep.
Okay, great. Cool. 25 damage.
So, you guys watch. Thimbles goes for the triple hit here. He distracts Yatil with the flying sword, and as Yatil dodges the sword and it glances past him, Thimble takes that window of opportunity, and you see two massive energy blasts just shoot up and hit Yatil in the neck from the other side, and he roars back again, hit twice by the power. And that's going to end Thimble's turn. Lorna, it is finally your turn.
I am frightened, so I can't get closer. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Blink. I don't know what that's going to do on this island, but I'm going to cast Blink.
Great. So you will blink into the ethereal plane, and it does seem to work. So you disappear. You flee for your life into the ethereal plane, and you disappear.
Yes.
So 100% sure when you'll come back. You'll be rolling every time, but you'll be safe in another plane of existence.
Yeah.
And that is the end of Lorna's turn. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make I'm gonna make a tail attack is what I'm going to do with my last legendary action, or what Yatil's going to do. So Yatil makes a tail attack legendary action at the end of the round. He's just going to basically swing down after he was hit by those searing bolts, and he's going to whip Pluto. The attack actually has disadvantage because Pluto is prone. So in that case, Pluto, I only got a 22, and I'll go ahead and do some tail damage to you. Take a grand total of 7 damage. That's all.
7, okay.
And that's going to be the end of round 1. So at the top of round 2, Green, you are hiding out on the side of his little cliff here. He doesn't seem to see you. You are in nice cover here. I'd probably say arguably 3/4 cover, depending on how close you're up against the wall. What would you like to do?
So I'm frightened. I'm gonna try and I want to move along the cliffside a little bit. I'm gonna take my last fragmentation grenade, and I'm gonna pop the pin, and I'm also gonna throw it towards Yatil.
Great. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna roll that deck save. I got a 2, so that's only an 11. Let's go ahead and do full damage on Yatil. 16.
And then I'm gonna do my stealth check of a 13.
So you can just
Yeah,
kind of
perfect,
barely
perfect.
see Green over there hiding out in the dune. It is Yatil's turn again. He has just threatened to do his acid breath, and you saw him bring his head up, and then he was hit with the grenade from the side, so he's looking out towards the dunes. So I'm going to have him just jump down the mountainside here. Once again, landing on Pluto.
Oh.
Damn it.
So we will do a claw on 2 of you and a bite on the 3rd one. So I'll do damage on Thimble and Eldrina. So Eldrina, the bite. Actually, Eldrina, you can feel like, you know, this is it, a dragon's bite. You've studied dragons. You have all the books in the literature. You know what it is. These elemental creatures who infuse their fire or acid. You know, a dragon's bite comes not just with damage, but with the elemental investiture that they put into it. And even though you will be writhing internally and screaming with the pain of the 17 damage that you take, you are waiting for the acid of the black dragon to set in, and it doesn't come. It makes sense, Eldrina, as you rack your brain. I think you're the smartest on the team, of course. That if that scar right there where, you know, his thyroid would be is accurately placed, he might not have that, whatever the black dragon equivalent of Kyrulium is. That might not be working for him. And so you only take the 17 with no additional acid damage. Meanwhile, the 2 claw attacks, Pluto, you are going to take a grand total of 6. And that's it. He's just got those 3 attacks. He bears down. He gets 2 of you. He misses the 3rd one. And it is Pluto's turn. Pluto, you are still prone, as you can see underneath his back leg there.
Oh, this is not a problem. Can I use my bonus action to activate my teleportation?
You can. So why don't you roll a d8 for me?
1.
And a 1 is going to take you 20 feet towards the water. So when you look back, you can see him bearing down on your friends. So you have an action, and you still have your move.
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm gonna throw another grenade. My last fragmentation grenade.
I will make a dex save real fast for that. And that is a success. So that one's going to be a 28. So go ahead and roll
Okay.
half of that.
So he takes 9.
With your movement, would you like to go anywhere, or do you want to stay on the beach with Yatil here?
Yeah, I'm gonna like move towards them and kind of like put myself in front of them and like maybe shove them out of the way.
Sure. I'll move you in right underneath of him.
Can I give like out a battle cry?
Oh, absolutely.
Like a nice battle cry.
You still have your flask in your hand, too.
I know. I've been doing this whole thing one-handed.
All right, Eldrina, as you can see, you're under his right wing as he's bearing down on the beach. But you're not prone, so you still have your action, your move, and your bonus.
He just bit me, right?
He did.
How close is his mouth to me?
It is not on you anymore. The grenade was just thrown, so he would have reeled back in pain from the blast.
Alright, so I'm gonna open up a quick channel. and he has no breath weapon. He's lying.
That's all you need.
I'm gonna move out of his reach backwards if I can,
Sure.
and Eldritch blast him.
Go ahead and roll for those Eldritch Blasts. I won't be taking the attack of opportunity if you're curious, as he is really focused now on Pluto to his left, who just threw the grenade.
27 to hit.
That's a hit.
So I'm gonna do some math, like 3 times. 26.
I will move on to Thimble. You are under Yatil.
I stand behind Pluto, I look up at him, and I charge up my hands, and I go, what kind of dragon can't use his element? And then I'm gonna reach out my hands upwards, but I'm gonna call my dancing sword back from behind him.
Oh, dirty.
Ain't.
You know what? I will give you advantage on the dancing sword in that case.
So that's an unnatural 20 for the first hit.
That is not going to be a hit.
Well then, while he's looking back at this dancing sword, I'm gonna run up to his feet and do two unarmed strikes.
All right. So you're already at his feet, so
25 and 28.
yep. So you can roll damage, Thimble.
And I got 22 damage.
22. So Thimble, you know, he looks back kind of behind him, and this dancing sword is just slashing at his rock hard scales in the back of his head. A dragon wouldn't have a weak point where his eyes aren't. He's got his good defenses back there. But because once again he is distracted by the dancing sword, you manage to get 2 blasts in simultaneously. Eldrina has run off, and so we get this mix of purple and golden blasts firing up and meeting Yatil in his face. He is going to take another legendary action, and he's going to do another one of these wings attacks like he did last round. So I'm going to need a dexterity save.
22 for Thimble.
19.
All right, you guys are both going to fail. So in that case, I'm going to give you the damage, and then you guys are both going to have it because you have rage and evasion. So when halved, the total damage is going to be 8. And then he will fly up to half his speed like he did last time. So when he lets the wings bear down and you guys fall over prone, this time you guys see him actually fly off towards the water. And so he heads off. And he's hovering over the ocean like he's catching his breath. Like he is a little bit overwhelmed. It's been a lot coming at him from every angle. So from over the water, he can see all of you. He's got his sights on Eldrina. He's got his sights on Green over in the dune. And he's catching his breath, and you can see he's a little weary after that last round of action, which does open the wall up behind you. You can see that you have a nice clear passage into the Crystal City at this point, if you're willing to get up there.
I'm willing.
Very willing. Let's go.
All right.
Now loading. Climbing wall. I want to be like you.
So,
Whoa.
taking
Oh
the
my
opportunity
God.
while the window is open, we have decided to head up towards the cavern holes in the side of the mountain. As you can see, 20, 30 feet below you, as we have hit the wall, Yatil still sort of recovers over the water. Looking up, we are still looking at quite a climb, and many of us are not the most experienced climbers.
Bring
So,
it!
I'm going to continue the initiative from where we left it as we begin our ascension of the Descendants. It is going to be Lorna's turn.
Great.
So you get to take your whole turn here on the wall, and then we can see if you disappear again.
Yeah. Let's do this thing.
All right, Lorna, do you have a climb speed?
I do not.
All right, I will need an athletics check.
24.
I will give you 2 slots, and you're going straight up, right?
Yes.
That's your movement. So while you're
Okay,
climbing,
great.
you can still take an action if you're firing below you, if you're doing anything to your friends, to your left or your right.
What I'd like to do, I'd like to pull out the 3 fragmentation grenades I have, and I want to hold my action to cast animate objects on the grenades if he comes within range.
All right, so hold your action. If he comes within range of the grenades, you mean?
Yes, I would like to cast animate objects on them and fly them at him.
So if Yatil gets within 120 feet, then you will be animating and throwing those grenades. And I'll bring you up the wall since you made a great athletics check. That means we're going to start round 3. And at the top of the round, we're going to start with Green, who was the first to hit the wall there. He was the closest. So I've actually started you up a slot, Green. You're a little bit above everyone else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to find it. I have a burglar's pack, which comes with pittons and rope and everything like that. Can I use that to my advantage in climbing or no?
Now, if you'd like to, you can take this turn, don't go anywhere, and unpack it. And I'll let you use it in future turns. But that's going to basically be your action and your bonus action.
I'm going to hopefully ascertain something about her pulling out grenades and going, okay, I think we're good. But so I'm going to take, and since I'm already one step up, I'll take it and start unpacking my climbing gear.
All right, so Green hits the wall, realizes this is a very tall mountain, and immediately gets to work on trying to get all the climbing tools out. It is Yatil's turn. And those grenades are going to go off. As soon as you guys start climbing, Yatil is very quickly going to make his way back. And he will catch up pretty swiftly. I'll bring him up the wall next to you guys, which is going to give you lots of time to animate those grenades.
So, yeah, he's going to make, I guess, 3 dex saves.
I will allow each of the grenades to make an attack before they actually go off. So you're actually looking at all of the grenades come to life, and they punch him, and then they blow up. So instead of 3 attacks, you're getting 6.
Heck yes.
For a tiny object, like a grenade, it is a +8 to hit. So go ahead and roll 3 dice for the +8.
24, 22, and 27.
Are all going to hit. So you can go ahead and roll 3d4 plus 12.
Alright, so that's going to be 19 total.
And I did succeed all 3 of those saves, unfortunately, so I will need half of that 15d6. It's very clever, you see, because if you're just throwing a grenade, it's an action to do the grenade. But if the grenade has its own free will, they can all just blow up at once.
Damn.
Really a time saver there.
Mm-hmm.
Till let go of the wall.
You said half of 61? All right, so 30. Grand total of 49. So that is Yatil basically flying and catching up to you guys. He throws himself at the wall, and as soon as he gets close enough, these grenades burst on him, throwing him back until he finally hits the wall with a large thud, shaking the cliff near you guys. And once he's got his bearings about him, he'll shake his head, and he'll look out to his right, which is these guys over here, and he's going to go ahead and make some attacks. So that looks like it's going to be Green and Eldrina below Green. So I will do... And you know what? And Pluto's on the right. So why don't I just do the same thing? I'll do 1 attack on Pluto, 1 attack on Eldrina, and 1 attack on Green. Let's give Green the bite this time.
I know. I've been pretty lucky so far.
Those are all going to be hits. So, Green, you're going to take some damage finally. So that's 19 damage, Green.
I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge to have
That is
that
9
right
damage,
down.
Green.
9 damage.
And for
Forgot I
R2
had
who
that.
took the claw, you guys are each going to take, so that'll be 10 on Pluto, and 20 damage on Eldrina. And that is the end of his turn. That's his 3 attacks. Pluto, you're on the wall. You're climbing
Yes.
up.
I have a climbing speed, actually, of 35 feet.
Great. Then you can move 2 by default.
I want to climb as high as I can, jump from the wall, use my great axe, and like try and embed my entire weight into that crook of his neck where the fleshy scar tissue is.
All right. Well, he is very tall, so you will need to make that athletics check to
Okay.
get 3 up.
20 for
22. Great. So you guys watch as Pluto sees an opportunity arise and really pushes himself up, climbing with massive bear-like speed until he is all the way up here. And then from that position, Pluto, I will need an attack.
28.
So you guys are going to see Pluto come down and land on Poseidon's neck there. Why is it, Pluto, that you have to ride everything that you fight?
Maybe you know it's in the blood. Yeah.
And let's get some damage from that axe.
Right. 16.
I will say that with the weight of our massive polar bear, who we have already established several times over is incredibly heavy, that's actually going to pry Yatil off the wall for a little bit. He's going to actually start to go into free fall. Not for very long, but long enough that I will actually take him and put him back in distance mode, where he's below us. As we get another chance to climb without him assaulting us. I am going to move on to Eldrina.
All right, I got a question for you. Can I use telekinesis on myself?
I'll say so. I don't see any restrictions that says specifically yourself. It just says a creature you can see, and most spells that say that include yourself because you can see yourself. So yeah.
All right.
Go.
So, is there like a ledge up there?
There aren't really ledges. It's not that kind of wall. This is more of a sheer face. But there are... But up there is the cave that we saw Poseidon go into. There are more caves even higher up. But the one Poseidon went to is the lowest cave.
So, I'm gonna use telekinesis on myself and try and get to the cave because I can't climb.
You move the creature up to 30 feet in any direction, including upward. So I will... So yeah, in that case, I will just give you 2 squares, basically for free. You're basically avoiding the athletics check, because you're moving 30 feet up. So Green, she's going to actually fly right past you, as you are still working on your bag.
That's fine. I got -1 athletics. I need the bag. Slow and steady
Anything
wins
else,
the race.
Aldrina?
Nope.
You're on your way up. So we will move on to Thimble. You are just hanging on way down there, buddy.
Do you want any help, Green?
Yeah, that'd be nice. I can't really climb that well with
Sure.
pittance. Yeah.
I grab one of the pittons and the rope, and I just run up the wall.
Naruto run.
Yeah.
I'm just holding on to the other end of it, and it's just going.
So I can move for... I'll use my bonus action to move 90 feet up.
Excellent. You run up, and just as your momentum is falling behind you, gravity is starting to set in, you reach out and you jam the piton into what you hope is some sort of crevice. But the crevice is too wide. The piton goes in, but there's nothing lodging it in place, and you start to fall backwards. I will allow you to just catch yourself on that same ledge you came from.
Okay.
So you won't make much movement that round.
I toss the spike back to Green. Sorry, I thought I had something there.
It looked really cool. I can't do that.
Okay.
14.
Then we'll keep you where you are. Lorna, it is your turn.
All right. Well, I'll start by continuing to climb.
All right, let's
Keep
get an athletics
climbing
check.
up that wall. Oh, that is a 21.
Yep. I'll move you up too. That's going to put you higher than anyone else so far.
Expert climber here. And that's a 2-handed weapon. So I'm gonna give myself a healing word.
There you go.
Goodness. I need that.
All right. Then in that case, if Lorna is done.
Can I use my action to dash?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because healing word is a bonus, so I guess I'll make another athletics check then. And that is an 18.
That is enough. So I'm going to actually take Lorna up and off. At the end of the round, Yatil and Pluto will return, having caught himself and returned up. I'm going to put him back on the wall where he was, still with
They
Pluto.
call me
in tow.
Dragon Rider.
It is gonna. We're gonna start just like every round with Green.
Will I get like?
So, how far away would he be from me? within 10
he's definitely
within
within like 10 feet.
I'm going to shoot him with my pistol. Now, question: is Pluto on top of him within 5 feet of him?
Yes.
Sweet. I will take my sneak attack as well.
Yes, you will.
Am
This is a
I
sneak attack
still
condition.
frightened?
You are still frightened, so you cannot move
Okay.
towards him.
Disadvantage. 15.
That is not going to be a hit. Sorry.
That's what I figured. Okay. Do I have my climbing gear?
Yes, you do. So you can make your athletics check at advantage.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Well, then there you go.
There we go.
I will
passed.
move you. I'll move you right past Eldrina, who is just telekinesing herself up.
And that's my move.
So that's it for Green. So it is Yatil's turn. Yatil is going to climb width-wise here. So he kind of gets all the way over here between Eldrina and Thimble and Green. He only has 3 attacks, even though there's 4 of you around him. So one of you is going to get lucky. I'm going to roll the dice to actually see who gets lucky. Green, you get lucky. All right, so I'll do the bite on Thimble this time. I don't think, has Thimble gotten a bite yet? Aw, there we go. The collection is complete. We've all gotten bites. So we've all gotten bites.
So instead of like the Venn symbol, we have Yatil's bite mark.
So let me just go ahead and roll damage for you. So Thimble, your bite is going to give you a solid 21 damage. Pluto, you'll take half. Eldrina, you'll take full. So 8 damage for Pluto, 16 damage for Eldrina. And that is it. He's just going to come over, basically, you know, like a big angry animal. When he chases you over, he crawls over, he lets out a slash, he rips back at Pluto, he bites Thimble. He's ravaging you guys, really, as you fight back. But we're still climbing, you know? We're still making our way up. I am going to move on to Pluto.
Can I still have my move?
Yeah, I mean, you're on his back. You're not in the greatest position to move, but I would let you make an athletics check if you'd like to jump back onto the wall. You won't go very far, but you'll make the leap.
Yeah, let's do it. Athletics, you said?
Yep.
It's an unnatural 20.
Excellent. So we will bring you off of him. And then
I take my axe with me.
Yeah, of course.
Just in case.
I'm going to go ahead and do a wing attack now. So I'm going to need all 4 of you to now make a dexterity saving throw versus falling off the cliff. Unless you are Green with a piton and a rope.
He takes 16 damage.
Thank you.
So I'm good. Sweet.
Well, you will still take attacks. So you'll still take damage, so make the dex save, Green.
Okay.
So I got a nat 20.
Excellent.
So 23.
Thank you.
19 for Pluto.
Okay.
That's a 22 for Green.
Okay.
Holy good. Good job, guys.
Thimble, you said 24? All right, and a 24 for Thimble. So, Thimble, you succeed. Eldrina, you succeed. Green, you do not succeed, but you are hung on by your string. And Pluto, you don't succeed. So you are the only one who's going to take the fall here. So as soon as you jump and you grab the wall, you look back and you see that with, you know, he's tripoded himself. He's got 1 claw and 2 legs on the wall. He rears back with 1 hand and he creates enough space for his wings to beat out, creating another one of those supernatural forces. Everybody holds on for dear life. And Pluto, an all too familiar feeling, you are plummeting towards the earth.
Again.
The rest of you, let me go ahead and roll that damage.
Again.
The good
I
news
don't
for
think
you,
I've
Pluto,
fallen
is
in this life.
Pluto. The good news is that you are going to take half of 16, which is 8. The rest of you are also going to take. Sorry, actually. Oh God, this gets complicated. Eldrina will take 8. Thimble will take nothing because of evasion, and Green will take the full 16 unless he also has evasion.
I have evasion as well.
So he will take half. So he will take 8.
8.
And I'm actually going to knock you down a post, Green, because you are going to fall. That's going to put you basically right underneath of Yatil, unfortunately. He is.
A lovely place to be.
Yeah. So you'll fall off, but your rope will catch you. Everybody else hangs on, and we all take a little bit of damage one way or another. Except for Thimble. And that was just his legendary action. So we're going to move on then. It is
No,
Eldrina's
he gets a
turn.
legendary action, James.
Eldrina? So if you want to use your telekinesis, you
Oh,
won't
it
be able to
is?
do that.
So is Pluto still falling? Are they on the ground?
Yes. Yeah, Pluto is still falling. There is a window here, but not very
Okay.
long.
If it's a huge or smaller creature, I can lift it.
If it's
That is an excellent rules lawyering. It does indeed say an object up to 1,000 pounds or a huge or smaller creature.
dang.
Pluto, we will choose to not objectify you and instead treat you as a creature. In which case, the
Finally.
telekinesis, the telekinesis will work.
Oh, that's awesome.
If only we knew that very.
Oh
first
yeah, I
day.
fell out of fell out of the airplane. I have fallen
Yeah.
in this life.
So, Pluto, in that case, your fall will be stopped. You'll be caught by the telekinetic force. And I believe, Aldrina, you can even move Pluto, right? 30 feet?
Yep. So we're gonna move Pluto up in the air 30 feet.
Great. So we'll move Pluto up and over to the wall so he can catch himself. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, he is on top of all of you, and I am now adding Pluto down here. So if we took Yato off, you'll see that you guys have formed basically a Yato-shaped silhouette on which he has placed himself. And that's it for Aldrina. So I will take a quick tail attack while I have you guys all under me. I say that like I'm Yato. I'm not Yato. I'm Dungeon Master James. Yato will take the tail attack. Who's under him? We've got Pluto. I have to crane over just so I can see who's under him. We got Pluto and Thimble.
Directly under him.
I'm just saying who's close to his tail, is what I'm saying. Who can he whip out? I'm going to go for Thimble. Well, that is an 18.
That does not hit.
It's not going to
Get out
hit.
of here.
You haven't moved since the wall began. And his tail is hitting above you. It's hitting below you. You have found a safe spot.
There's like a thimble-shaped in mark in the walls.
The tail's gouged out around you in your shape.
And it's your turn, Thimble. You do have the opportunity. As the tail swings away, you have the chance to move.
How high is the wall to the next cave?
Well, Lorna has already climbed in excess of 100 feet up. Just because Lorna has really just focused on the climb. So, it's not very close, but it's up there.
Yeah, I think it's about time I focus on the climb as well. So I'm gonna
This
run
is one
up.
of those Miley Cyrus episodes.
I gotta focus on the climb.
Alright, so action, run. No, action is to sprint. So that's 90 feet. Step of the wind, add 45. So 90, 135 feet.
Of course.
That's just ridiculous.
Well, the good news is
Get
if you're
out
gonna
of
go...
here.
So let's see. What is the grand total of that movement, Thimble?
135 feet.
So with 135 vertical wall climbing speed, you guys will see Thimble just almost comedically, Speedy Gonzalez style. He will run up the wall. Where
I
is
see.
he?
I just look over and I see Thimble just speed past me as I'm climbing up.
And Thimble, you will make it to the to where this cave is at the top. I will actually place you, basically on the ledge of the cave. If you are looking down at them, I don't really have a way to place you on the ledge, but you are on the. You're at the cave.
Didn't expect anyone to get there, huh?
I wish I was a monk.
Oh man.
So you are at the cave, Thimble, and then we will move on to Lorna, who is... Actually, Lorna, if you want, you are only one movement away. You're not even 2 movements away. You don't even have to make the athletics check. You can get up there for free if you want.
Sweet. I'll take it.
So Lorna and
Oh, hey.
Thimble are now at the edge of the cave. When you guys look in, it's pretty dim because of the sunlight coming in behind you from the sunrise. The exposure is weird, and you can't quite make out what's inside yet. But it is definitely an entrance into the mountain. Below you guys, there are 3 of your companions who are still fighting the dragon. And there is Yatil. Yeah.
Well, I still have my action, so I'm gonna pull out my caliver. For the first time this campaign, I'm gonna pull out my rifle, and I'm going to lean over the edge. I'm gonna take a couple shots with my gun at Yato.
Yes.
All right. You have as many attacks as you do have multi-attack. So is that just 1?
Bard
2.
Valor gets 2 attacks.
You get 2 valorful shots.
Right. That first one's going to be a 24 to hit and a crit.
Oh,
A critical shot down into Yatil's skull. Well, let's see what happens here, folks. Let's go ahead and roll damage for both of those.
It's the first one.
Let's go, Lorna. Let's go.
Okay. So the regular shot is 9 points of damage. The critical shot is 21 points of damage.
ooh.
Solid 30 points.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, so you guys, Thimble and Lorna, you know, you look down on the others, and a gunshot rings out and echoes from the mountain across the river and into the jungles in the distance. And when you look down, you can see that a portion of Yatil's skull has indeed been blown off, exposing some bone and tissue underneath of it. I'll say Eldrina and Green, who's down there, and Pluto, who's down there. You know, you guys are smattered with a little bit of acrid fluid.
Oh.
But then his body starts to go limp and starts to fall off of the wall and away from you guys.
Did we just
Did we kill him?
kill him?
Lorna, did you just
Lorna, did you
kill?
just kill a dragon?
When you guys follow the body with your eyes, falling back towards the beach where we know such serpents lie, there is a moment of disappointment as the nearly dead creature's wings spread out. Underneath of it, you can see as it spreads its wings and it starts to fly, still bits of skull and flesh are flying off of its body. And it doesn't even give a roar as much as it gives a chirp. And it angles left and away from the wall and away from the five of you, this bloody, skull-beaten creature who has been bested. And with that, I will take you guys out of initiative order.
We lived! Oh my god!
That worked!
I just want to say, I made the stupid decision to fight him, and through that entire thing, I was like, "Great, we're screwed." And I'm glad to say, Lorna, you upheld, you win my heart.
I
flying high right now.
immediately pull out my book and I write, "Just beat a dragon." Shot a dragon in the
Wait,
face.
not just a dragon. You beat Yatil Yavel.
You beat the dragon.
Oh, this
So
is
Lorna,
this
you're
is
the
one for the
dragon
history
queen now.
books.
You're the dragon queen. You're in charge of all the dragons because you killed him.
Yeah.
Tiamat.
That's the way. Well, he's not dead.
Tiamat.
He's not yet.
So as you guys all climb your way up and catch your
Get
breath and
wrecked.
meet at the edge of the ledge here, we can now finally enter the mountain. If I may have your attention, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Crystal City.
Hey.
Hey.
Crystal City.
So, as soon as you enter the mountain, you see before you a super system of caverns. It is indeed the hollowed interior of the Montiferous Peak. As you look up, stalactites are drilled into every inch of cavern ceiling, and the floor cracks into crooked formations of stone that are broken up by massive holes that seem to go down forever. This area in front of you is but one plateau among thousands that you see in the distance. Far from jumping distance, you realize that only massive creatures of flight, such as dragons, could even call such a place home. And though you can look miles into the caverns and see the draconic inhabitants flicker in the distance against the crystal lights. The immediate area here appears to be mostly evacuated, with only the slow trickle of the cavern stream breaking the silence.
Oh my god.
Is
What
your
is he
family
doing?
dead?
Wow.
Oh my god.
So, a quick look at what we do see around us real fast. There is, in the distance, a very large dragon, but it's probably a 600 or 700 feet out. So this is a little bit of depth trick here. So it looks small, but probably only because it's far away. Additionally, you can see another smaller, maybe like some sort of brown or gold or bronze dragon, still creeping around. The only creature on this plateau still hanging out. And of course the trickle, as I mentioned, the creek or the little system inside here that is going, it's, you know, the sound of fresh water after 3 or 4 days on this island. And of course various levels of platforms and crystals and cavern formations before you. You guys have just come in over here through this archway.
Okay.
I vote for water.
Yeah, I vote we also keep it as quiet as possible because Jatil said something early on that to Poseidon, saying that let the others know that they failed. So we don't know who the others are or if they're friendly with us necessarily. So I still say we keep a low profile.
Maybe
Still
speak
don't-
through the link.
I open up a channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, James, if I may, I'm gonna chug 2 health potions of greater healing.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So, do we want to get some water? That would be nice.
Yeah. Do we want to scout out first, or what
I
do we
think
want?
that's a
How do
good
we want to
idea.
approach this?
One person should scout.
Who's quietest?
You?
Well,
Yeah, go. Yeah, Pluto. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say obviously it's me, but I guess you would be second.
Are you quietest? Oh, that's a. You.
I'm learning from you.
That's. I give you a big old pat on your big polar bear arm, and Oh, I'm so glad you didn't die. God, you're so much fun. All through the mental link, and then I'm gonna go ahead and stealth, and I want to take a look, like try to make my way up to the water.
All right,
I
Lorna,
was
what is
gonna say, I
that?
can help you out with I was gonna say, Green, I can help you out with your stealth if you want.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on you.
Hey,
Do I get a-
Aldrina. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you hand me one of those crystals we've been holding on to from the Warforged out of your bag?
Oh, yes, I can. Oh, also, and I'll pull out my grenades. I don't know how to use these, so I'd like to give them to someone that does.
I'll take a couple. How many did you have?
I had all 3, so.
Oh, yes. Yes, baby. Alright.
All right, Green, you are doing a quick check here now to stealth around, you're saying?
With invisibility, is it just a DC bonus, or do I get an advantage?
With this ability, creatures who are visually based pretty much
Okay.
don't see you, right?
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean that a creature like a dragon, it would really have much effect. I think there's that
19.
famous story, The Hobbit, I believe it was, in which
Ah, yes.
somebody went invisible into a dragon's lair, and that went well.
Yeah.
Their
was
sense
your
of
total,
smell
Green?
is impeccable.
It's a 19.
A 19? Okay. I'll say that invisibly, I'll send you out and about. And you can see when you head further into the caves that these crystals, you know, the crystals which give the Crystal City its name, they actually have a luminant glow to them. I'll pop a few down. The glow is not great because as you are moving around, you realize that it means there's not as many shadows as you would like in such a large cavern system. But it's beautiful. These are the only source of light in here. If the gems, if the crystals didn't glow inside the cave, then it would probably be pitch black. We'd all be helpless. But I will say, I'll get you across this little platform here. I'll move you a little closer. And I'll say with your DC, your passive perception of 16, you can actually make out from this side of that ramp that there does appear to be a really great hidey hole. You can see it is. Let me move the camera. It looks like over here by this crystal in the distance. There is an alcove right there, dug into the cave, which is too small for most of the dragons we've come across, but it looks like the group of you might be able to squeeze in, no problem.
Okay. First, am I by the water fountain area?
Yeah, I have moved you about 10 feet from the source of the water.
With invisibility, I'm gonna sneak up to it and I'm gonna fill my water skins.
No problem. Awesome. I don't think there's any issue with Eldrina having passed over all of the skins. We knew Green was going over there, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let everybody know through the mind link before you cast that, Pluto, actually.
Yeah.
It looks like if we're over here and we get across this bridge pretty safely, there's a little outcropping we can hide in, and we can kind of regroup for a second, okay? But let me get these water skins, and then I'm gonna pop down in there. And you won't see me because I'm invisible, but you'll see. And after I finish filling the water skins, I'm gonna jump down the hidey hole and kind of examine it, make sure it's safe before I call him over.
Sure. I'm gonna have you make another stealth check in that case, as this little brown dragon nearby is probably a little too close for comfort.
18.
Unfortunately, that is not high enough. So, Green, as you head back over a little bit and hop down off the ledge and come over to investigate this cliff here, you can tell that very sneakily behind you, the creature has turned and is now stalking in your direction.
Do we see this?
Almost certainly. From where
Can
you
I
are.
take a salt rock out of my bag and throw it as far as I can in the other direction? Like,
absolutely.
Away from where Green was?
Yeah, I won't require
use
a check for that. Eldrina?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, could I make it go even further with my telekinesis?
Yeah, if you just want to grab hold of it and just start sending it as far as you can with the little time you have left.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Take out the salt rock and I show it to Eldrina and I like throw it part of the way and then I guess she grabs onto it later.
Boosts.
So from your perch up there by the entrance archway, you guys take that rock and you just toss it over, and with the telekinesis you can have it hang for a second to catch the dragon's attention, and then as soon as the dragon is looking up and at it, you guys can throw it, and the dragon will curiously go investigate what is up with the magic rock, the magic flying rock. And Green, you watch all of this happen behind you. But it's probably not a far leap in logic to guess that that was your friends helping you out.
Yeah, I just kind of think to myself, mutter to myself, God, you guys and your magic, okay. And I'm gonna hunker down in the hole.
Yeah,
and
I'm
just
gonna
kind
send
of.
you in there now.
Yeah. Can I like let my invisibility drop?
Yep.
Or no, no, I'm not gonna. I just realized I'm invisible for a while. I'll mind link them and just be like, you guys can drop in. It's pretty cozy in here.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's pretty close to where you guys were. So as soon as you guys head up and over the ledge, you can see this hole that he's talking about, this hidey hole. And I can.
How far down is it?
It's about 15
Okay, cool.
feet
I was
now,
gonna say.
But as long as we're not being
I could
chased,
drop
we
us
can
all
take
in.
the time. So you have the time that you need to do things like that. Yato was not coming back.
Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna have that just in case we need it later on.
Great. So yeah, so I will put you in the hidey hole, and that is going to give us a chance to finally catch our breath and talk and have a little bit of a, probably maybe not light a fire, but a fireside chat here.
Oh, we're alive.
pass around the water skins, and then I hold my hand out, or I hold an invisible hand out for Pluto's flask, and just say, "Can I, please?"
I don't know where you are.
I take the flask like 3 feet left of where you were holding it up to. Just grab it.
Do you want me to drop the invisibility? Are we good? Or it lasts an hour, so if we want to do any more exploring.
There's silence, and then Green goes, "Oh, I was shaking my head. No, I'll keep it actually."
Roll a D. What is it? A D10?
D10, yeah.
James, if I can, are there any crystals near us or above us?
Yes, there are. You can see them glowing very brightly there.
Great. I'd like
In
to.
case you guys can't tell, these things are actually like LED lit up. I don't know if that comes through on camera.
Yeah,
They're
there
so
you go.
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You really
Are
went
there
really
any not
cool.
glowing?
Anything that is still attached to the cavern is glowing. The ones that we have are not glowing.
Okay. So, I am going to say, I think that we need to ask some questions.
think we should also rest up.
Yes, definitely.
I got a 9 on your drink, by the way.
A 9? Ooh, you got frost wine.
God, I don't care. Is it alcoholic? I drink it.
It is 10 out of 10 on taste, but it's 6 out of 15 on strength.
That's fine. After taking a big swig, I hand it back, and then I look at, or I say to mentally to Eldrina, I agree that there are some questions that need answers right now.
Green, if you need something stronger, I still have 2 cans of Utter Moron.
No, I will die, thank you. But that, I will... is that flammable?
Actually, why would you ever use... No, you can't set my drinks on fire?
It might come in handy one day. That's all I'm saying.
James,
I'll give you 1.
Hey,
Take it.
would I know what plane people go to when they die?
it depends on who that person followed in life.
So if it were my grandfather, I would know that he followed my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's your own family, of course. That's the theological thing you would...
So if I were to contact other plane, I could maybe talk to him?
Wow. So... I didn't see this coming.
Oh.
Ah!
So in the spell description, it specifically says you can mentally contact the spirit of a long dead sage,
Did I call it?
and that's it. That's all it says. That and okay, yeah, it's a ritual, so you can do it without burning slots if you spend 10 minutes in the hidey hole. Yeah.
Ready
Let me
to
see
talk
here.
to yourself?
When you cast the spell, you will need to make an intelligence saving throw.
I want to give Eldrina Bardic Inspiration
All right.
as she's performing this ritual to give her a little assist.
All right. I'm gonna need.
So
an
does that mean I can
intelligence
roll
saving
again?
throw.
You
well,
get a
no.
D10.
Yeah.
You get a D10 that you
Oh,
can
so I
add.
just... Okay. Dope. Alright, let's go.
I'm ready. My body is ready for this.
Crossover event.
This... No, my theory. I'm ready. Let me be right about something. In a James campaign.
Plus 10, right?
You get a
D10.
D10.
So you have to roll the D10.
You can roll a D10 to add on to that.
You get a grand total of
23.
that is a success. So in that case, I will, in 1 second here, I want to do this because I think this would be neat.
Guys, we need to have all of our ideas during commercial. That's now that we have commercial breaks.
Yeah.
It's not letting me. Okay. I was trying to switch over to the Ancestors overlay, but it's not letting me do it midstream for some reason. So unfortunately, I can't do that cool thing. But I will let you guys watch as Eldrina takes the 10 minutes in the hidey hole, and you see her just channeling her magics and looking up to the sky. And Eldrina, why don't you tell me what does it look like? What does it sound like when you try to do this contact other plane?
So I'm actually gonna take a piece of my hair out of my head, and I'm gonna start whispering to it, and my eyes are gonna go black, and it's gonna come out of my hand and just kind of float there for a moment, and then it's gonna like just kind of float away. And then I'm not really sure of what we'll see if we're contacting another plane. Do I see a person, or is he just in my head?
It allows you to ask them questions. So it is a mental thing. And
Okay.
just so I can, as much as I would love to have you have a conversation with yourself, I do have to bring the rules back here. You ask 5 questions to Edgar.
And you answer
to
as
Ghost.
the GM.
And I will give you a 1-word answer. Basically, it's almost like you don't get to have a conversation, but you get to mind meld and feel the memories and feel what history lies in that sage. So, reaching back to the past and making contact with your own ancestors, Eldrina, what are your 5 questions?
Well, first, I'd hope that I'd let people know that I'm doing this before I did it. So can I do like split chat? Can we have grandfather on one side, friends on the other?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Great. So we got 2 IMs open. All right. Yeah.
She tabs.
So I'm going to say to everyone, I have just reached out to my grandfather on the other plane. We can ask him questions, but he can only give us 1-word answers.
So
He's with us.
We should be asking questions that are yes or no, then, because that'll get us the clearest answers.
Yes.
Can you specify?
I can answer. I can ask 5 questions before my tether to the other side is broken. Plus, from what I know, he can be quite difficult, so he probably doesn't want to stay around for long.
Because they're the ones that unlocked the islands.
Yeah.
Or so we're told.
That's a good way to start. Did they unlock the island?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Did they turn the wheel?
Yes or no?
So, which question would you like me to ask? Did you turn the wheel, or did you open the island?
I think turning the wheel implies opening the island, so maybe the wheel one?
Alright. Grandfather. Hello, it's Eldrina, your granddaughter. I would like to ask you a series of questions. My first one being, did you turn a wheel that opened an island,
Or anyone else?
or anyone else, years ago?
There is a... Let's do it this way. Let's say that in your mind's eye, you kind of see yourself standing with your ancestors in that cave. So I've gone ahead and I've placed
Are those?
Edgar here next to Eldrina. and you see your grandfather standing, lit, illuminated by the crystals. And he simply gives a solemn nod.
I go back to my chat with friends, my group text, and I say, he said yes.
Ask if we should undo what he did.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Are we all agreed?
Yes.
I think that's a good one.
Okay. Grandfather, should we undo what you did?
And there is a solemn nod of his head.
He says yes, we should.
Is that going to trap us back here? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be asking all the questions. I just want to...
No, it's fine. You have good questions. I wanted to do the magic, but I wanted to open this up as a collaborative opportunity.
Yeah, and...
I
Are
mean,
we
I
all-
wonder if he can tell us anything about Yatil or the deal that he made, but I don't know how to phrase that in a one-word answerable
that-
question.
So maybe
We can think on it.
if Yatil could be killed.
Should I ask him this one, that if we turn the wheel, if it will trap us here?
That's a good question. Yeah, we
Yeah, I
should
think that's a
start
good
with that one.
That's a
Or,
question
like,
for you.
maybe is there a way off the island once we turn the wheel?
Which one, guys?
If we turn the wheel, will we be able to leave the island?
Yeah. That's a good way of phrasing it.
If I'm able, could I step closer to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in my mind's eye and approach him? Am I able to touch him?
There is a metaphysical separation here, almost like a force field. You cannot visit.
So can I
that
hold my
plane.
hand?
Yeah.
Can I hold my hand out? Okay, I'll hold it up. I'm sorry, rephrase the question again.
Is
If we
there a way
turn the
off?
wheel, will we be able to leave the island?
If we turn the wheel, will we be able to leave the island?
And there is a solemn shake of his head.
Oh,
Great.
he says no.
Great.
Well,
I want to know
well then,
Is
How
there
did
another
he-
way?
how did he leave the island?
Maybe he didn't, hun.
No,
But
he did. That's
Maybe...
how are we here?
Maybe when they built the wheel, they couldn't until they built the wheel. Whatever this wheel is. And so if we undo that, then we're trapped in this place. Does that make sense?
So if we undo what they did, maybe they had the opportunity to leave
because
when they
Got it. If
unlocked
they
it. But when we
opened it
lock
up-
it, we're locking ourselves in. Yes.
What if they can't leave in? Okay, this is strange. I don't know how time works, but what if us turning the wheel now makes them able to leave? Like maybe what if
No.
I don't know. I don't know
Place.
anything.
They could leave. What I'm saying is not that they couldn't leave back then, because Aldrina's right. Like, how the hell would any of us be here if they didn't get off the island?
Didn't-
Like, they had to
didn't
make babies.
Tompion- Wait a minute. Thomas Tompion said there would be a way off for us.
Yeah, Thomas Tompion also.
No, I'm not
Right.
defending the guy. I'm just saying, if we need to know, we need to consider everything that's happened, right? There's this dude, the science dude, that's never been on the sending stone when we needed him. guaranteeing us a way off this island and riches beyond our wildest beliefs if we turn this wheel.
Pluto, there's a couple of people out on the outside world that make a habit of lying in order to get other people to do what they want. It's what I figured on the way here. It's what I figured when we were dropping into this godforsaken rock, and it's what I figured now.
Aware of garbage people out there. It's just
It sucks when you meet them. I get it.
If I may,
Mm-hmm.
I'm more concerned about how this will affect the realm as a whole. I mean, we were told by the machines that they would all be destroyed. We were told that the dragons would be locked. I wonder if there's a way we could ask your ancestor if they know anything about it.
Will turning the wheel save the world? Something like
a bit
that?
broad. Why don't we do like, will turning the wheel lock the dragons in?
I don't know if that's enough.
It's a bit specific.
I think...
If you said,
Is
will
there
turning
another
the
way?
wheel save the world, that's
already-
also...
We already know that your guy wants us to turn the wheel. Like, that's clear. He said that. So
Oh! Oh! What if we ask him, should we trust Poseidon?
a lot can happen in a lot of years, but I'd be willing to waste a question on it.
seem to know our ancestors.
I'll say this of another question when you could have had one.
The question we asked was, should we undo what they did? We didn't say, should we turn the wheel? We asked, should we undo what they did? Is there another way, without turning the wheel, that we can make things right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's good.
I'll agree with that.
Alright. Is there another way without turning the wheel that we can make things right in the world?
There is a solemn yes, a nod.
Let's go!
He says yes! He says yes!
How many questions do we have?
We have one left.
That was
We have one left.
Now I want to ask about that instead of the Poseidon question, to be completely honest.
I agree. So
I don't
how
know
do we
how-
ask that
what
in a
we'll get.
way?
one word answer.
Well, James, you said that I
Yes.
can kind of see history, right?
Yeah, it's a vague, almost like watercolor connection between minds here. You know, imagine like the
Okay.
Take On Me sequence with you and your father. It's hard to have a conversation, but there is some passage of information here.
Are the Warforged the key? Not that
So
I
if
don't
I
think
ask
he would
you-
even know about the Warforged.
Well, they
They're
weren't
obviously
even on the
passive.
island back then, were they?
I don't think
knows?
so.
Okay. All right. So I have like the craziest question. Could he telepathically form a bond, a magical bond with the dragon, and show him how to do it?
I'll say that as you pull your... Ooh, got a follower for that one. I'll say that
Whoa.
as you pull your own little dragon out. Let me see, there he is. To join alongside you. Another dragon crawls out from behind him in the watercolors. And it's a little red dragon. And the two
Poseidon.
dragons look at each other as if there is some sort of exchange of information. Some story being told. And that is a story that will be told next time on It Came From Kiston. So, and keep
Various
rolling them
different
dice, ladies and gentlemen. Keep
Emotion.
rolling them
Roll
dice.
all the
You
dice.
roll dice.
Roll
Heck, yes.
the dice.
Roll
All
them.
right, everybody have a wonderful night.